Merry flippin' Christmas, everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about reharmonising jingle bells. This is obviously a festive thing to do, but I also think it has a lot to teach us about doing reharms in general. Jingle bells is a relatively simple melody, obviously, and has a lot of repeated notes. And repeated notes are great for reharmonisation. Okay, so let's just start with the basic chords. I think a good starting point for any tune that you want to do some reharmonisation work on is just to get a very basic sense of the chords. So this could be as simple as just doing your usual, 3 chords and the truth or 4 chords and the truth thing. Jingle Bells is harmonisable using the 3 basic chords of C major. We're going to play it in C major, so that's C, F and G, right? And I think being able to sort of hear these basic chords for any simple major key melody, or any minor key melody for that matter, is a really, really good basic skill to be able to have, even though you might think, what has that got to do with jazz? So, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, one thing I want to draw your attention to is that first phrase, that first half of the song, the chorus rather, finishes on the G chord, which is dominant chord. It sets us up for the next section, which goes back to, repeats the first bit for a bit. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Different ending, and we go G-C, okay, rather than finishing on the G as we did before. So it's kind of like you have like a comma and a full stop, or a period if you're American, okay? So that's fine. Now, that's got a lot in common with a lot of ABAC structures actually, even though it's only a relatively short one, 16 bars as opposed to 32. Songs like Just Friends and Days of Wine and Roses, Embraceable You, and so on are all the same structure, and they all have those basic features. So even though we're doing a daft song with 3 chords, there is a wider relevance to what we talk about in general on this channel, okay? And also, Merry Flipping Christmas, okay? I'm going to add in just one extra chord to start off with, and that's the chord that sets up the G7. And I think a lot of ABAC tunes do this. Days of Wine and Roses, particularly popping into my head as an example, but I can probably think of dozens others. And this is just to add a D7 in, so this is our mysterious 4th chord that we're going to add in before the G7 in the first half. So we're going to go, let's move to slightly more jazzy shapes. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. These are just spread triads, just majors. On a one-horse open sleigh. And that sounds nice, right? It adds a little bit more harmonic variety. So in classical terms, that's a dominant of the dominant. Sets up G7 as its own thing. So there's a chromatic note in that chord, which is the F sharp, and the F sharp just gives us a nice little push into G. It's if you watch my other video, it's a T note. It's an extra leading tone that moves not to the usual C, the central note of the key, but actually to the second most important note, the dominant. And you see that a lot in tunes. You see it in rhythm changes and all sorts of things like that. That note being used like that. So good to watch it out. Good to watch out for it. Yeah. Okay. So that would be a basic harmony for it. I mean, you can just play it in open chord shapes if you want. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, and that's our basic structure. We're going to hang everything we do off that. So the first port of call is we're going to do like a traddy, swingy version of it. So we're not going to add that much to it. We're just going to add in a couple of extra chords and change the colour of one chord actually and add an extra chord. So the only chord we're going to add in is a C7. And so it goes, we're going to use maybe a 6th chord instead, or this kind of shape. Or maybe we could use just a straightforward major but in an open spread triad shape like that. So let's do that actually. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun. And we're going to use F7. Now a good way of decorating F7 is to use this, by the way, which is F7 diminished or minor 6th up a tone, so G in this case, up under the half step of the diminished chord, and then use the first inversion. Jingle bells, We don't quite have enough time to use that though. On a one-horse open sleigh. We'll do it here though, on the G, right? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. It's quite good to get used to that move. Blue Monk, obviously, but also Oi as well. That's all you kind of need to do a kind of swing jazz or gypsy jazz version of it. Pretty straightforward. What I'd like to do is I'd like to make it a little bit more gospelly, a little bit more churchy. Let's add in a little bit of a neo-soul flavour by doing this interminable lick. Everybody does that, don't they? They all love that. I've been on Instagram too long. And we're going to go, let's do G minor 11, going to F sharp 7 sharp 11th instead of the C7. It does the same job. And then we go to F. We can't use F major 7th though, unfortunately, because it's not a it's not really compatible with the F bass, with the F melody note. So we'll just use a straight F triad. We go back to C, but instead of just not regular C, we're going to use C/G. I mean, that was the shape I was using before, but now we're really thinking about the bass line. G sharp diminished, A minor. G7 sus4. Yeah, let's use the F sharp in the bass, D/F sharp. So let's do this. Okay. The melody there on the D chord is a G, so it's got kind of a nice sort of soul-y, slightly gospel-y flavour. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Let's do that again. A minor on a one-horse open sleigh. Nice. Okay, so that's the way I do that. Let's move on to the next one, which is my straight ahead version. So the straight ahead version, like the sort of churchy, soul-y, slightly neo-soul-y version, also builds on the basic changes, but does so in a little bit of a different way. So let's start with a slightly simpler version. So I'm going to start with a C6 of some kind, C6/9 maybe. Jingle bells. Yeah, that's all right. Jingle bells, jingle. We're going to do 2-5-1 into F. But remember that we've got an F melody note, so it doesn't matter whether this chord is minor or major. We're going to use a little bit of subtle modal interchange, which means that we're just going to take a chord that normally is found in C minor and plonk it into C major. And this chord is going to be F minor and also B flat 7, right? And both of those have the melody note in. So that's nice. The whole thing goes. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Best Bublé impression I can do. Oh, what fun it is to ride. And instead of going back to C, we're going to go to E minor 7. Is to ride. Oh, actually, maybe E7. Is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Going to A minor 7, D7 there. D minor 7, G7. Okay, but then this is a bit of a nothing chord, so you don't want to add a 13 or even a flat 13 to it. So the first half would go jingle bells, jingle all the way. Let's try to. I've got like Nat Cole singing in my mind's ear actually on this one. That's why very festive. I mean, it's not just the Christmas song. There is an intrinsic festiveness to that goal. Oh, what fun it is to ride A7 on a one-horse open sleigh. So I ended up playing the second half there, but that's just the 3-6-2-5. Really, really straightforward. So you kind of, going a little bit more towards taking it, having that nice sort of Charlie Parker-y sort of, it's suddenly minor sort of feeling about it, okay? So I'll just sing it through again so you can hear the changes. Might change the words. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin flew away. Da 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 da, ya da 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 ya. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Yeah, again. F sharp, half diminished for the ending. F minor sixth. And that would be C with an E in the bass. And then D sus4 or D minor 11th. D flat major 7th. C6. The thing that those chords all have in common is they all have C on top. That's nice, actually, isn't it? In that case, that's a E flat 6th, D sus, D major 7th, and then that's the sort of thing Bud Powell would do, actually, on Jingle Bells, if he played Jingle Bells, just as the ending. Now, speaking of turnarounds, that takes us to the first note, and this chord sticks around for an awfully long time, doesn't it? Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle. That's fine if you're playing like Cockney music or gypsy jazz or something, but as we are sophisticated and modern jazz, we like to put something in there. And a good little turnaround to put in there is just back cycling from 3 in dominant chords. 3, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. And then we're going our build 2-5-1 into F. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Hey. So yeah, I mean, this is, why would you do this on Jingle Bells? But it's fun, Jingle bells, E7 bells. Jingle bells, I think on Jingle Bells it's A7, on bells. Batman smells, so D9, G13, Batman smells, whatever the words are. Robin flew away, and then we got the F sharp 7 with a 7th on top. Put a flat 5 in there if you like. Oh, what fun it is to ride on the double zoo, zoo, zoo. And I would put the D flat major 7th in just because it's screaming out to me. I know it's cheesy, but I can't help myself. Okay, so there you go. That's a more straight-headed version. I'll play it a little bit more up tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jingle bells. Oh, let's do the turnaround thing. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse loop-a-dee-dee. Can't do chords and tune words at the same time. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on that day. Okay, so I don't know why I went into scatting there. I mean, I obviously can't remember the words to Jingle Bells and play chords at the same time, but there you go. Now, here's another thing you can do. Anybody remember this tune? Da, 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 da. Yeah, da, 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 yeah. It's kind of similar to Jingle Bells. So, Moment's Notice by John Coltrane. So let's just drop the Moment's Notice thing in there. So that's, a 2-2-5 separated by a semitone. The first 2-5 is C sharp minor going to F sharp 7. Second one is D minor 9 going to G13. Jingle all the way. So that's kind of cool. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on one horse open sleigh. Hey. Got to do something with that. It's horrible. And that, you could do that. It's D flat 7 sharp 11th, D flat 9th sharp 11th. I suppose is a thing. And then do it again. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. And then I suppose there I'm using a C sharp minor going F sharp 7 again as we used it earlier. So let's make sure it works out with the melody. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Yeah, fine. Because it just stays on E, doesn't it? Oh, what fun it is to ride on a day, oh day. Let's do that again. You could also use A flat major 7th there as well. Both modal interchange chords. So speaking of modal interchange, can we do something with that? Maybe we can put well, that's an E. Why not put an E major in there? So, why wouldn't you? I mean, E6. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle. So let's make that sound a little bit more significant. Jingle by using a 2-5-1. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a. Can we do something like that? Okay. Fun. So yeah, okay. Oh, what fun it is. I've lost my key. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. So we're going starting on this chord. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Can we do that? So what I'm trying to do is a 2-5-1 into E major before doing a 2-5-1 back into C again. I'm thinking about this sort of more as a Coltrane matrix now. But we've got the melody note in the third, so we could be able to do it. But however, with that E, we kind of need. Oh yeah, I can do that. So we can play a B7 sus4 into E major, and then. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is, and it is to ride. No, that major 7th doesn't work there. Oh, is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. One-horse open sleigh. But A flat major 7th there with a sharp 11th in, why not? Jingle bells, and jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride, is to ride on a one. Okay, it goes to G there. One horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. It's so weird. One horse open sleigh. Hey. It's a bit dominanty. Anyway, carry on. Jingle bells, Batman flew away. Da 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 day, da 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 dee dee da day. I think I've gone completely insane.